All right, welcome to Reso Biz episode. Again, I have no idea. I've lost count. 6, I think. Maybe my wife will put the right number right here. Of the Holey Pecky Cypress build. It's an epoxy day, epoxy week. Most of it was done in one day, I think. So I say a day. Here we go. Hi, I'm Byrl with Byrl Guitars, and this is Reso Biz, where everything is greater with a resonator. I've got quite a few things I'm going to try to do today, or in this video anyhow. I don't know if I get done today. We need a fretboard, so we'll cut ourselves out a fretboard out of this. I've saved this piece because it's got a lot of holes in it that allow us to be able to really use the Pecky Cypress well for this fretboard. So I'm going to cut this out and then we'll get that filled with epoxy. And then I need a head plate that I want to be Pecky Cypress for the top. Obviously I need this thing ground down. And I need an end graft that'll be Pecky Cypress. And then I got to pick a piece that's going to be, this gets a sound forward hole in it. We're going to use the Pecky Cypress for the sound forward hole. So there's a lot of neat stuff we're going to do with this Pecky Cypress. This neck is not done. This is same wood that's on the back. It's that waterfall sapelli, I think they call it. Anyhow, we're going to cut this to be slightly smaller than it's supposed to be, and then we're going to put these on the sides because I want this to be the outside, so it'll actually be laminated Pecky Cypress, and then it'll be quilt or flame maple, and then it'll be the whatever the sides are on this guitar. That's what this is, the sapelli. That'll flow through on the neck, also on the sides, but then the back will have the different pieces with the Pecky Cypress filled with epoxy. It's going to be, this is definitely a custom. It may look like a mess right now, but I do believe the end result of this is going to be pretty neat. So pretty much I've got to get stuff cut and epoxy filled in for end graft, figure out what's going to be sound forward hole, get epoxy on this thing, and we'll get going. Here we go, we'll cut this. All right, rather than cut this, I think I'll just, this tape actually cuts through the wood itself. So I just leave it on there long enough and eventually it just drops out. So it's just, there's a laser effect on the tape. And after a certain amount of time, it just wears through it, which makes my work a good bit easier. I just stick it on there, I don't even have to cut it. So that works out nice. This doesn't matter. I just used the colored epoxy bag as I already had it. We're going to put a little bit more in it. This goes under the fretboard though. And then we'll have to do a little bit more filler to these spots. And this don't matter because it gets a heel cap on it anyhow. But it's cleaned up a bit more. But this is just, again, it's still just the roughed out look. But this will be, once it's smoothed down, it'll be interesting. What's the word I'm looking for? With a shine of some sort to it. I haven't decided exactly how shiny or non-shiny we're going, but actually I have decided, but I'm not saying yet. Alright, well there's that. Alright, I think roughly I'm going to take my piece for the head plate out of this, but what I think I'll do is I'll cut it out here in the spaces where these holes have got edges to them, and then we'll get the template pack on it and get it cut out the way we want after the epoxy's been dried. So I'm not trying to, well, anyhow, I think you get the point. So I've cut this down. It looks like a kind of like a ukulele neck or something, or tenor guitar. And what I want to put on now is these sides here. And you might think, well, that's not going to fill it, but you put them together, and I've taken off roughly 1/4 inch, and that's about what we got. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to clamp it on the sides, these on the sides of here, and we'll see if it's thick enough. If it's not, I've got an idea how to add more material. Trying to think how to do it so I can keep the clamps out of the way, so I can measure it with my template. And it is just slightly, ever so slightly, bigger than it needs to be, which is exactly what I'd want. Maybe a little bit more slight than that, but yeah. It's almost perfect, which kind of is bad. You say, well, why? Because I like to be able to sand it. You know, once you do all the finish sanding, I don't want it to be too thin, so we might have to add a little bit of something to it. Now what I'm going to do, make it so I can cut off the excess. I ain't gonna do that. Oh, I got another idea. I'm gonna choose the grain better. That was a little too random, but I've got a nice spot. Yeah, I think that's what we're gonna do right there. Use this piece I cut off as the template. See what I think of that. I like that. All right. My wife will probably edit this part, but this is the boring part of luthier work. I can't imagine anybody would like when I sit and just stare at the work and I think about it. And this makes me think a lot of different things, especially when it's a one-off. It's not like you do this all the time. I definitely like my niche for resonator guitars or building. None of my guitars are exactly the same. There are certain processes that I try to keep the same, and truthfully, if I get out of those, I end up with trouble. But these are a lot of what I do is a one-off thing, and especially like this, I like these. But I'm sitting here thinking about there's more ways to get think about what the end grain's going to look like, or not the end grain, the end result when I sand it down, what part will actually be cut out, and there's a lot of consideration. I just realized I could cut this like this, and I could get 2 of these shapes out of it that will fit to this, and so then I can look at it and see which one I like the best, which I think I don't know how well you can see it in there, but I'm looking at this pattern in the grain that flows kind of with the neck here, and then it arches down, kind of like the heel does, or the end of it. But then on this side it goes straight, and then it has the lines that go down. So I don't know. I think I actually like this one better. We'll see. Then I have another thought. on, I think I need a veneer. I need something. Oh, I already know what I'll use, I think. Maybe not. Keep thinking of it. Oh yeah, I do have some thoughts, but I don't know how crazy I want to get. Super time consuming if I go too nuts. All right. Well, yeah. Oh, I spent like 5 minutes there or so. We haven't done anything but draw lines, and I'm just thinking. All right, I've got these two pieces in here. I took the pieces I cut off and use them like a coal to hold it down. I narrowed the top as it rolls in so I can keep the flow of the sapelli in it once I finish shaping it. I actually did a whole lot of work offline, but it's all bandsaw and grinding and junk, and it's noisy, so I did not record it. Not that anybody's complained about it being noisy, I just don't care for it myself so much. And Rachie could edit out the noise, but again, it's noisy. I just don't want to record it. All right, that's close. I've seen somebody put in the comments, more clamps, please. That's about right. I love clamps. And I probably, well, I use a lot of clamps when I do the, I clamp the back on, but I probably never use more clamps than when I glue up a neck. And this one's no different. And then I might glue on another layer. I might glue this layer on too, because this now is, I'll check it, but I think this now is about exactly right, and it's still, the outside edge of this is still kind of roughed in, so I'll smooth it up, probably smooth these up a little bit more and glue these on at another time. All right, so I need to get some epoxy in those things. Nope, it looks like a wreck, but there's our end graft, which reminds me I need to do a tail or a heel cap too. But this will be our headpiece, fretboard. Ooh la la! Does that look? Even I think I'm crazy. We'll let it dry, which actually it's getting there. That one's not so much, but these are, I could probably do it by the end of the day, or sand them by the end of the day. Anyhow, we'll see what they look like. This is still like an inch thick, all of them. So we'll sand them down and see what we think. I think I'm going to cut this one. This will be cut on the bandsaw still down to about an 1/8 inch, or a little bit more, an 1/8 inch, a little over a 1/4 inch, and then I'll finish sand it down to what I want, and we'll see what it looks like. If I don't like it, I'll use the other half. Same thing with the rest of them. All right, thank you for sticking around for that bit of epoxy work. I guess we worked on a neck too, and getting that done. And I know I left you on a cliffhanger. Join us next week to see how some of this comes out. I'll have the fretboard cleaned up a bit more. The neck will be straightened out a bit, and we'll start to see things looking more like they're supposed to be. Hopefully I'll get that head plate glued on the head of it. There'll be a little bit before on the fretboard. We got frets still to put in, figure out what we're doing for fret markers. A lot of fun stuff coming up. Hope you'll keep watching. If you haven't subscribed, hit the subscribe button, and then hit the like button, leave a comment. Also, if you happen to have some interesting wood that you'd like something special done, my niche is custom building for resonator guitars. And if you're interested in that, My phone number, 765-650-1445. Give me a call. Also for setups or anything else I can help you with, go to the website, check that out. Thank you for watching.